Hey guys, this is No Solution. I'm Scott, and a bit of a different video today. Not music or metal related at all. I want to talk about one of my favorite authors, Edward Lee. I guess in the spirit of this being a different video, I'm wearing a shirt that my wife bought me as a joke. There we go. It made me laugh, and I wear it proudly. Um, so anyway, Edward Lee is a author who has 50 or 60 novels out by now, in the horror genre, more into the hardcore horror, I guess you would say. He started in the 80s and the 90s with mass market paperbacks. Some really good stuff, actually. I would really recommend Coven, one of his early albums. That's a sort of a witch themed book, as the title would lead you to believe, but goes in a very different direction. What I like most about Edward Lee, he is in the hardcore horror genre. Definitely, his stuff will make you sick, will offend you, but his writing style is very playful and humorous. So, for the normal person, it would not be humorous. But if you have a sick sense of humor, and if you're into brutal death metal or things like that, I think you would really get where he's coming from. So his stuff never seems mean spirited. It's always in the spirit of fun. And I'm a huge fan of his. When it comes to music, I'm firmly in the physical format mindset. I need to own a physical copy of everything. With books, I've converted more to, do I really need another book on the shelf, or is a Kindle version okay? And I've pretty much gone with digital books for a lot of my purchases in the last 10 years or so. But for authors I really like, I really want a physical copy of the books. I don't have everything Edward Lee's ever put out, but I have a good portion of it. Like I said, he started in the mainstream genre, writing for Zebra Books when mass market paperback horror was a big deal. That market collapsed, obviously. And then he wasn't sure what he's going to do, but he kept writing, and he moved into the limited edition kind of collector's market and kind of revitalized his career. His real big hit, I guess, in that time frame was Header. This came out in 1995. This is a reprint from, I think, 2012. It's a novella. It's about 90 pages or so. To describe this book would kind of give it away as to what the big question is: what is a header? And you will read this book and you will find out. It's in the genre, I guess, of redneck horror. It's very not PC. It's sexual. It's disgusting, but it's awesome and hilarious. This you can grab this for, I think, $10 or less on Amazon right now. I would definitely recommend reading Header. If you want to just sample it, the Kindle version, I'm sure you can get it for way less than that. But this, I think, will tell you if you like Edward Lee or not. Yeah, highly recommended. There have been 2 sequels to this one. It's one of his most well-known works. And he, in 1997, came out with this full-length novel, The Big Head, about a mutant inbred monster roaming the woods, causing havoc, murder, rape, etc. But there's a religious angle. There's a abandoned convent in the middle of the woods that ties into it, and it's full of mayhem and disgustingness, and I love it. It's so great. So yeah, check out The Big Head too if you want to get a taste of what Edward Lee has to offer. There are also many cheap mass market paperbacks you can get. Leisure Books, when they were doing their horror line, released a lot of Edward Lee stuff. So I'm assuming at any used bookstore you could find an Edward Lee book for a few bucks, or even online you could find them. So not much of a barrier for entry if you want to just check out what he's doing or what he has done. what spurred me on for this is I'm a big fan of his, but I'm not as hooked into the horror fiction world as I used to be. And in the last few months, he's put out a couple books that I didn't even know existed. So when I saw them, I grabbed them right away. The first one is The Bounce House. You can get this on Amazon for $6. It's a tiny little paperback, really short. It's, you know, a novella, probably not even that long. It's like 70 pages. The concept of this is a rich asshole rents the biggest bounce house he can find for his kid's birthday party because he wants to show to the neighbors that he's a big shot. And he and his wife get in the bounce house and jump around just for fun before the party starts. And when they get out, they realize that their genitals have been switched. And it's very silly. It's not as hardcore gory as Edward Lee sometimes gets, but it's pretty messed up. Yeah, and so the story is then the parents trying to figure out what happened and where this bounce house came from and how they can get it switched back, while they also change personalities because they now are kind of in the wrong bodies. Triggers, all the triggers, man. There's sexual abuse and whatnot. It's not presented in a gratuitous way as to just be shocking for the sake of being shocking. It's like I said with Edward Lee, it's presented in a more playful way. But if that kind of thing bothers you, you should probably not get into Edward Lee at all. And he also released a full-length novel called The Television. So the concept of this one is a man finds out that his uncle that he's never met in England, who is fabulously wealthy, has died and left him everything. The only condition is he has to move to England and live in his trailer. And in his trailer is an old television that at first does not turn on. He doesn't understand why it's even there. But then as events continue, the television turns on, and what the television shows is the worst human atrocities ever committed. And Edward Lee goes deep into history in this and describes war crimes and just various horrible things that have happened throughout history. And it slowly corrupts the man. And there's a satanic conspiracy around this television. It's a classic Edward Lee book, and I'm pretty jaded. And when I started reading this, I was like, okay, yeah. I mean, I've seen this stuff before from Edward Lee. It's not a big deal. But there's near the end, there's a scene that just was really, really messed up. That I was like, wow, I can't believe he did that. So, if you're looking to be shocked, I would say give The Television a chance. And yeah, give Edward Lee a chance, man. He's I guess any other caveats I should give you? Edward Lee is a dirty old man. He loves hot ladies getting naked, so there's a lot of that in his books. So if that bothers you, I guess you're clear of that too. But yeah, I would say give him a shot, man. Definitely sample him on Kindle, or if you want to get a physical copy for just a couple bucks, get the Bounce House and see what you think of it. All right, guys. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you later.